Thank you so much for coming to check out this video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my number one tool for helping me to keep motivated, to keep focused, and to keep in alignment with what it is that I'm working towards. It is, of course, my Get It Together life planner. I believe in this so much that I want it to be available to more people. It's helped me to feel less stressed. It's helped me to achieve more. It helps me to stay motivated and fired up. And it helps me to keep a little bit sane as well. When life could get crazy, this is the thing that grounds me. It's what keeps me going. And I'm excited for you to dig in and to get your copy too. And the very first one that we're going to come to is called the Dream Life Map. So it's kind of a little bit of homework with this. You might have to pause this video and then come back to it. So this is dream life. Like, what is the dream life? This is where you start to tap into your imagination, to dream for what is possible, to go big, to go bold. Chuck any fears aside and really go all out. Don't limit yourself on this. So to help you with this, I've provided a dream life meditation, which is my go-to. This isn't a thing that you do one-off. You can repeat this time and time again. So I'm going to put the link for that down below, so you can find yourself a quiet time to access this. Everything that you have in life already started once as just an idea, a dream. Let's continue that moving forwards about what you want to create going forward into your absolute best life. Okay, I hope you feel excited by that. I hope it's giving you this energy about you and this motivation and this fire. And this is why it's a great thing to do time and time again. Anytime I start feeling like, feeling a little bit lost, feel a little bit funked, feel a little bit overwhelmed, I go and do that, and that is where I find my fire. So now all we get to do is any of the ideas that came up, you can go and transfer them over into your dream life map. Now, I always work with the 4 quadrants. So we work with body. So that is your health, how you feel within your skin, how your body performs, how you feel when you look at it in the mirror. We have the self. So this will go into like, what are the things that you want to learn? What are the things that are connected to yourself, your confidence, all these type of things that relate to you and who you are. We then also have relationships. So this is with people who are immediately around you. So it could be relationships with kids, with your parents, family, anything that's turned relationship will go into that quadrant. And then we also have career, because all of these, when they come together, are a culmination of what our life is about. We are not just one-dimensional beings. If we only have goals in one areas, that it can lead us to not really feeling truly fulfilled. But I feel when we have a level of balance, and it's not always going to be completely balanced in every single area. They're going to be sometimes when certain areas of life are going to take more focus and intention than others. But we want to have this element where we have a certain level. That's the sweet spot where we're like, yeah, I'm happy with all of these. That is where we're going to feel good. And ultimately, this is what is this training or this system is about, is helping you to create a life that you love living, that you're like, yeah, I feel in alignment with my goals. I feel good about this area. I feel good about this. And you get to enjoy life to its maximum. So you're just going to put them down into your dream life map. Okay, so now you've got your dream life map. That's almost like your vision board, and you could definitely transfer that onto a vision board. It's definitely something that I find fun and exciting to do. I've got one up on my wall. It's that daily reminder of like, these are the things that are coming up in my consciousness. This is the thing that I keep on getting pulled towards. That's going to be your guiding star, your northern light, the things that are going to help to get you fired up. So if you are a visual person, definitely think about transferring that onto a vision board. And it's just a fun activity to do. You can get the kids involved. You can get your partner involved. Allow yourself to go into the things that you want to create within your life, because when we can see that vision in our minds, that's going to help us to bring it into our reality. Once you've got your dream life map, we then want to start to break that back down, because yeah, it's nice to have all these big dreams, and sometimes big dreams can feel a little bit lofty, but if we can bring it back to something that we can actually feel a little bit more realistic about, although I'm a bit on the fence about whether goals have to be realistic, because I think that goals need to be exciting. They have to be like, yes, can you imagine if that came into my reality, how much freedom that thing is going to bring. You've got to have that level of excitement, because if we just work on realistic goals, you're kind of like, well, meh, not that bothered about that. Let's just, why bother at all? So that is what having the Dream Life Map is about. It's having something that feels inspiring, that's going to pull you towards it, that you can get hyped up about, that you can be like, even when the going gets tough, it's like, no, this is what I'm fighting for. This is what I'm going for, because it's important to me, because it means something. There's no timeline on your dream life stuff. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. If it's important to you, it gets to stay on there. However, when we start to work that back, let's have a look over, okay, out of all of those things that I've listed out, if I was going to say, I would like to have these things in place by the end of this year, within a 12-month period, what would those things be? And we're looking across like one main thing, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, I want to have £10,000 in savings by the end of the year. It could be, I want to feel a certain way. It doesn't have to necessarily be a static thing. We can use ideas, we can talk about feelings, we can talk about emotions, really start to layer that in of what your goal setting is. And we're going to write that in, and I'll put it up on the screen at the bottom box that says in a year's time, or the end of year target. Then if you were to have the end of year target, how could we break that down even further? So if you were to cut that into like 4 blocks, so talking about 4 quarters as we work in 90-day blocks, even that end of year stuff can sometimes feel like, I kind of don't know. And I will admit, I sometimes struggle with that. But just having it out there and having a base outline. And remember, none of this is set in stone. I actually like to write down these a lot of the times in pencil, so that I can go in and shift and change, because it's never really about the end goal. The purpose of this is about the journey, and that's really what I want you to get into there. So yes, we've got this guiding light that's exciting us, and this is what we're moving towards, but don't put all of the pressure onto that. It's really about the steps into the day-to-day. That is where true happiness and fulfillment comes from, is when we enjoy this journey of moving closer towards our goals. So we've got our end of year. If you were now to break that down into 4 different sections, so maybe it is that you've got a weight goal, whether you've got a monetary goal, if you've got something with self, it might be like a qualification that you want to get, it might be the new job, all of these different things that you're putting on there. If you were to look at that and break it down backwards, how could you break that down into 4 blocks? We have our 12-month, we have our 9-month, 6 months, and then 3 months. So we've got our quarters, and look at how we could work it back. So what would that first 90-day target be? Because when we work it backwards in the next phase, then we see that everything evolves and comes from our habits, the things that we do day by day. And often it's not these big massive shifts and changes that help us move towards our goals, but it's the little things that we start to do daily. And then you can start to see how your big goals start to weave into your reality, into your here and now. We show us up as that person today, and then we start to achieve more of the goals that we have on our end of year. Ask, what would the 90-day target be? When you've got your 90-day target, you work it back for a 60-day, and then your first 30 days. And this is how we work the goal backwards. So we start to establish, okay, what is it that I want to work on for this first 30-day period? Once you've got your 30-day idea, if you've started to say, okay, this is what I want to work on for this month, then we can start to break that down even further into our monthly planner. So on your monthly planner, you're going to have 4 main goals for the month. Now, it can be less. Try not to go too much more than 4, because that's when we get into a sea of overwhelm, and actually when we have too many different goals going on, that actually none of those things get achieved, because it just feels like too much. Now you've established what that 30-day target is, we want to tap into the reasons behind that. We want to pack some emotion on it, because if you're just setting goals for the hell of it and they don't actually mean something to you, what's the chances of you actually getting there? When the going gets tough and things get harder, maybe not everything is going to plan, you're going to have that compelling reason why. Why does this matter? Why do you give a shit? Why is this important to you? Because the deeper you can layer in the meaning behind that why, the more impact it's going to have. And this is going to become like a non-negotiable for you. This is not like something that we're playing with. We are here because this is important. It means something. Next question on that sheet is, where are you currently at into relation to your 90-day goals? Because this is where you get to check in. It's not about beating yourself up or being super hard on yourself. This is just, let's be honest, let's be real. Where am I at right now? Observe your habits, your behaviors, your beliefs around it, your mindset around it. Again, write down in as much detail as you can. And when you're reviewing this each month, you can see and revert back to that 90-day goal setting sheet that we did just previously and checking where you're at. Next few pages, I'm just going to whiz through quite quickly. So we've got a monthly planner where you can start to map things out. And this could just be writing in the different things. I like to set out what I'm going to do each week, ideas that I've got, some of the things that I've just listed out in the what action steps. Maybe you just want to implement them one week at another, but start to have this overview of the month ahead so that you can be a little bit more organized. You know what you're doing on a week by week basis, and then you can start to put it into action. This then got to be broken down even further where you've got your weekly planner. Now, I'm a huge fan of time blocking, just marking out, putting in things, especially if it's things like your health and wellness goals that we sometimes can let those slip. Put them in as an appointment with yourself, everything in there so that you've got it a clear view plan. Also at this point, if for those who are getting the upgrade to the hard copy, there are also some brain dump sheets in there. So once you've done your monthly planning, you can write down all of your ideas, brainstorm them, and there's just a little bit more space to start mapping things out. And I love having these just ideas just to make notes. I love to make a note. So just having it all in one space is a great place to do that. Next up is your daily focus sheet. And if you take nothing else away from this system, these are the things that have been the game changer for me. So I like to do this as part of my morning routine. So I get up in the morning, I've got my cup of tea, I get up before anybody else awake, settle into this, whether I do some breath work or some meditation, just to ask myself, what do I get to do today that is going to help me to work towards these goals? So you can start to see how we've started out with this massive dreamline vision and we broke it down monthly, we've gone weekly, now we're going into the day. So I asked the question, if I was going to show up as my best self today, I would be. And you can refer back and look at the targets that you set out for yourself each week. And on the weekly planner, you have those 4 goals that you set out for the week ahead, always working with these 4 goals. Then we get to question or reflect back to that and say, okay, if those are going to happen this week, then today I get to do duh, duh, duh. And I highlight the top 3, and again, keep it simplistic as possible. If you could just do the 3 things and that would be done, then you'd be making huge progress forward. This isn't about filling up all of the things to busy yourself up for the sake of being busy. This is about saying, this is clearly what I need to get done this week or what I get to do. You get them boxed off, you eat that frog, you do the hardest thing first, then it actually frees up more time in your life. And this is what is this planner has massively helped me from going busy and being all over the shop to like dialing down my focus, like bam, 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 get it done so I have more free time off to do the fun things and the other things that I want to do in life. And then final couple of sheets are your reflection and review sheets. So we have a weekly review and same thing on a monthly, recognizing where you're winning all the time, because when we feel like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere, not doing anything, that just is self-deprecating. It makes you think, oh, well, why even bother? We have to be able to recognize our wins, because that's what's going to fire you up. That's what's going to keep you going to get up and go again the next day. Wins, no matter how big or small, when you recognize that you're winning in life, that's the encouragement to keep on going. We then get to look at what's not going so great. Why is that? what's showing up, and we can look for patterns of when things repeatedly start to show up and not go according to plan, because then you can start to question that. Why is that? Where does that come from? What can I do differently going forward? And that process will then be repeated at the end of each month. We reset the goals again for the month ahead, and so the cycle continues. This is not just a one-off quick fix. This is something that gets to be part of your practice continually. And if you are consistent with this, I absolutely guarantee it will affect your motivation, it will reduce your stress levels, and it will give you that ultimate feeling of feeling like you have got your shizzle together, because that's when you feel like a badass, and that's when you feel like life is working in your favor and life feels good. Are you in for it? Are you in? I love nothing more than seeing what you're getting intentional about, what you're getting excited about, and I'm absolutely here to cheer you on every step of the way. So go and do this work. I know this was quite a long video, but I wanted to pack in as much as I could, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't actually sit down and do the work. And it might take a little bit of time to get going with, but once you find your rhythm and start to do this consistently, you can do it quicker and quicker each time, and it becomes that guide just to help you to stay in that rhythm of your life and that rhythm of feel good.